The following program is intended for a mature listening audience. Graphic and explicit language may be heard at times. The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily express those of this station or sponsors. Listeners are advised that neither this station nor its owners and agents shall be held liable for the content of this program. Rebroadcast, redistributed or reused without express written permission by host or producer is not allowed.
Hey guys, well, we're here for our Christmas party and our recording for Christmas time, and I hope it comes out well for everyone. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I wanted to do this. It's been a rough year for me. I think a lot of you probably are aware. I'm not very private about when I have troubles, but I've went through a lot of mourning. I've lost an ex-husband, I lost my mother, and I lost a relationship all in 1 year. So it's been a tough one. And I decided, instead of sitting and crying and moping about it, I'm going to do something positive. And I'm so grateful for you, Ro, because you're willing to step in. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's not a problem.
Yeah, we're going to have to learn this all over again, but it's important to me. Christmas is always special, and this year has been so hard in reality, in real life. And I thought, let's turn it around. Let's be positive. Let's be happy. And it's not so easy to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. And we're going to have a bunch of people. We're doing it a lot different, aren't we? But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a stitch together of a bunch of people just telling us their stories. And I think what I'd like to do right now is just tell a few stories for the people that couldn't make it. Would that work with you?
Oh, yeah. Go right ahead.
Okay. And I was going to record them separately, but I was thinking about it would be so cool for people to hear what I say while I'm saying it. So I'm going to save the longest one for last. And I'll just read these. I've got a few. And my favorite one is Eric Mars. It's short and sweet. And he says, the greatest gift I've ever received was and still is friendship. I just love that one. The next one after that is a friend of mine. I don't know if everybody knows this guy, but he's been really good for me and kept me going when I was having some really hard times. His name on mine is Truth the Light. And he said one that really threw me. He said, the best gift I ever received was meeting the devil. The truth is within the contrary. Only if you know evil can you know good. The existence of the devil proves the existence of God. I like that one.
That's a good one. I like that one too.
Yeah. And then the one after that was John Ottman. I asked him about a month ago, and he thought I was joking at first, but he finally gave me an answer. He said, well, my favorite gift at Christmas is just spending time with family. Enough said. I like that one too. And of course, Reverend Holiday. Now we know his name is John. He let everybody know. And he said, Jesus Christ is the best, and then my wife. And then I got one from Josh Hu. He's the one that does the radio side with Drigas Prod and Censorship Sucks. He wrote, every gift I get is special. That was short and sweet.
Yeah.
One of my other old friends from here, not that vocal either, That Will Do. They wrote, my salvation first, my wife second, my boys third. And if it's a Christmas item, my dad made me a barn that I still have, and it was a lot of fun to play with.
Aww. I like that one. That's good.
Yeah. And then I got one from, I don't know how to say his name exactly right, Bootrinty13. He's in our chat room. He said, the best gift I ever had was a ball, a soccer ball from FIFA 2002 World Cup that my dad gave me back when we were poor after the war in Kosovo. So he's tying that to hard times, but I guess it made him, made it different, made it better. And then I got another one that is kind of it's one of those, oh, really? From Maximilian. He said, my best friend's mom called me out of the blue, and this is the answer. My ex had isolated me, beggared me, taken from me the only things in life I valued. Her theft, lies, philandering, and bullying had broken me. I was going to remove the pain when Penny called. She saved my life. I found out that I wasn't alone that day. I will probably never speak to my daughters again. My ex poisoned them well, but I again have a family, one that's taken me in as their own.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that precious?
Yeah.
And then I have the longest one of all, and this is from Random Chords and Minor Keys. And his answer was, oh, it's easy peasy. I've never forgotten it. Christmas and my birthday were always outfitting season. My birthday is right around the spring equinox, so my presents were always clothes. Christmas was my winter clothes, and summer was my hot weather clothes. Underwear on Christmas? Yay. Fast forward past years of a mentally ill mother, dragging me through several cults. My life from 9 to 17 was fending off her Scientology, brainwashing friends, and finally escaping my family. Years of homelessness, getting it together, getting married, and Christmas 1992. After my first year of marriage for Christmas, my wife bought me a small portable guitar amp. You know how they say that it's not the gift, it's the thought? For the first time in my life, someone gave me a gift that wasn't practical, not something that was actually something that they actually wanted, not a last-minute run-by Walgreens special, and not thank the gods clothes. It was something that I wanted that I would never buy for myself, but most importantly, showed belief in me and the things I thought I wanted to do in my life. I'd never had anyone do that before. I will never forget that amp, nor the love behind the giving of it. Never had a better present before or since. And last, he says, Happy Christmas to all you awesome minds, folks. And that's all the ones I've gotten so far. I know other people were wanting to give me some, and they might do I know a couple of them said that they would record something, but these were the ones that were too shy to do anything audio, so they did it
Oh,
by
that's all
text.
right.
Yeah, I thought that was just so precious.
I like all these. A lot of them are really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are really good. Some were short and sweet. And I guess since we're on the subject, I should do mine, huh?
Yes, yes, go right ahead.
I had to think about it for a while after reading other people's because for me, the greatest gift is Jesus. I mean, I wouldn't be here without him. And I'll be point blank about it. I haven't done it so much on the show that I did before. I tried to make it more universal, but this is about Jesus. So I'm sorry, I have to say the best gift I ever was receiving was the gift of life and eternal life again. And without Jesus, I wouldn't be able to function. But then when I look at it at another level about real life, I would have to say my children, because it keeps giving you back. They're still here with me. I can't think of anything better than my son investing his life in me, staying with me, an old lady. So that would be that one. And then there's one more, and it's almost right up there with the other ones. My friends here from Mines. Because when I have had such horrible, horrible days, and I'm in that chat room, and these people come in there, and oh my God, what precious people we've got. John W. 116, he's known by Reverend Holiday. Got to be one of them. And you and I both have had such great relationship with him.
Yes,
such a sweet
yes.
guy. And there's so many others, but he's been there like a rock for me lately. So I have to do a special one for him. He has been, wow. And I would have to mention Mark of Drigas Prod. He has pulled me through thick and thin. And geez. When I was ready to throw this thing all in and give up completely, you just pulled in right beside me and said, "Oh, we're not going to do that."
Oh no. You needed help, and I came in, and I'm like, I'm gonna help you guys with the Christmas special, no matter what, no matter how busy I am, I'm gonna help you guys out.
Hello everyone, it's me, Robert Van Dusen. I wanted to record a little segment for their show, so I thought I'd go ahead and knock that out for them real quick. The best gift I've ever gotten, that was probably stuff I got from my grandma though it wasn't always at Christmas anyway. Let me explain. You see, when I was a kid, my grandparents lived up on this lake that was a couple hours away, so I didn't get to see them very often. But I'd spend summers up there at their house, and the rest of the time I'd see them at like Christmas or Thanksgiving or other important occasions, birthdays and whatnot. Their place was pretty much the only place I actually felt happy growing up, because I could go screw around in the woods with my friends or go fishing all day if the mood took me. Believe you me, it did. You see, there was a fishing derby up there every summer where the Lake Association would pay a dime bounty on every rock bass you brought in. The fools obviously didn't know who they were dealing with, because me and my friends would bring in about a half dozen 5-gallon pails full a couple of times a day, every day for a week. We'd all be rich as Crassus, at least by how boys measure something like that, and we'd be eating like kings for the entire time because we'd have just so much fish. And their television didn't work frightfully well, and they only got 3 channels anyways up there. To this day, I still kind of smile when I hear the theme for the TV show MASH, because one of the 3 channels that aired back-to-back episodes right before dinner time and the 6 o'clock news. So I'd go rifling through my grandpa's endless collection of paperback Louis L'Amour cowboy books and a few other Western series that he had around the house, just really looking for something to read. Yeah, I remember the Gunsmith and John Slocum novels being great fun as well, but, well, they were probably more than a little too racy for a 10-year-old boy. Sometimes we'd take trips into the library in town, but it wasn't that often, and as I got a little older and had a little money of my own, I brought my own books too. Though eventually the summer would end and I'd have to go back home and back to school. See, I didn't have a whole lot of friends growing up, and I despised school for a dozen different reasons I won't trouble you with right now, with the fury that burned like 1,000 suns. I didn't get on particularly well with my parents to boot, so, yeah, let's just say that the other 9 months out of the year were significantly less fun, if you follow me. I would generally end up spending a lot of time in my room by myself reading, or at least once I got old enough to be allowed a television in my room, I'd stay up late watching horror movies on the weekends. Though every time my grandparents came to visit, my grandma would bring these big, a couple of big plastic shopping bags, bursting with all these old paperbacks for me to read. I think she kind of secretly suspected how miserable I was a lot of the time when I wasn't up there with them. And you know what? I actually still think I've got a couple of the shopping bags from their local grocery store upstate. Maybe I'll have to go take a look. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Thanks for listening, and Merry Christmas. Okay, one last thing. Rebel seems to like to end on some dad advice, so I suppose I'll channel my inner flannel daddy here for a minute. Okay, so the holidays are pretty much upon us, and, it's kind of a rough time for some people out there. So you know what? Take a minute, check on your buddies if you think there's an issue. Call them up, see how they're doing. Try and figure out how to go out and do something fun for the afternoon or what have you. Maybe if they can't get home for the holidays or for whatever reason they don't get on with their family so well, invite them over to your house for Christmas dinner. If you're the one having problems, don't hesitate to reach out. Call a friend, or push come shove, there's plenty of counselors out there. Just give them a ring. Don't do nothing you might regret later, okay? That's really all I've got. Merry Christmas.
We have one last submission for the greatest gift I've ever received, and I'm so glad that we got this one. It is a beauty, and it is from the Light 777 Angel. Well, here I go, walking out of my comfort zone to share the greatest gift I've ever received. Once upon a time in America, I was given the gift of God's love. And from that love came what I thought was to be my life's adventure and journey. I was given the love of my life and a baby boy to add to my happiness. I thought I was going to live heaven on earth. But as we live in a fallen world, my baby boy passed because of SIDS. And afterward, my beloved passed of cancer. I thought it was the end of the world for me. And it almost was, as in my deep depression, I tried to kill myself. Unbeknownst to me, through my grief, God was not finished with me yet. I was saved by the kindness and tender mercies of all things, my own personal Samaritan, an unbeliever God sent to minister to my grief and heartache. And with much love, struggle, and hard work, I found that God had not left me. He had not abandoned me. I was not forsaken, in spite of what had transpired. The gift of love had never been taken back, nor removed. And through it all, I was restored, made anew. I learned, healed, grew, and realized that God had sent me into the life of an unbeliever, so that through his vessel, his word would grow. His love would spread. His love would be gifted to yet another soul. After many years and experiences with my Lord, I can now truly say the best gift I've ever been given is love. Love, Delight, 777 Angel. I think we did save the best for last. Thank you. It was the year 1816, and a young priest from Austria named Joseph Mohr was hoping to find the words to comfort his congregation. The devastation of 12 years of Napoleon's War had sapped the parishioners of hope. They were in dire straits after surviving the year without a summer, an extremely cold year. A volcano had spewed ash into the atmosphere, and it snowed even in the summertime. Farmers' crops failed, and people were nearly starving. Mohr decided to take a walk to clear his head and revel in the quiet cool of the evening. The stunning peace he felt on that night trek was so overwhelming that the words came pouring out in a poem he titled Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht. We know it here in the United States as Silent Night. The soaring words would remind his church that God truly cared for them. Some of those lyrics translated are, "Today, all the power of fatherly love is poured out, and Jesus as brother embraces the peoples of the world." The priest played the guitar and violin and could probably have composed the music for his poem himself, but instead he asked a friend named Franz Xaver Gruber, a local school teacher and organist, to write the music for the 6 verses. Gruber used an Italian musical style called the Siciliana. It mimics the sound of water and rolling waves, 2 large rhythmic beats split into 3 parts each. Gruber's music reflected the daily sounds heard along the Salzach River in Oberndorf, where they lived. Gruber hoped to play the melody he had penned on the church organ, but the old organ would not play. He spent hours trying to make that old organ work, but his labor was in vain. He decided instead to play the melody on his guitar and have the choir sing along. So on Christmas Eve in 1818, the 2 friends sang Silent Night together for the first time in front of Mohr's congregation. Nearly 100 years later, at the height of World War I, on Christmas Eve, German and British soldiers on the front lines in Flanders laid down their weapons, shared what rations they had, and sang carols together. One of those carols, Silent Night. That event is now well known as the Christmas Truce of 1914. This song, with a theme of heavenly peace, even in the midst of suffering, has bridged cultures and generations, as all great songs do. The lyrics speak of hope in hard times and of the beauty that arises out of pain. They offer comfort and solace, as well as foster a universal grace that transcends and unites people across many cultures and faiths. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven
sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face. With the dawn of redeeming grace, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at